my fellow comic book collectors. It's Alan, the Comic Collector Geek, and this is the Price Variance Show where Mark and we take a look at the hottest Silver Age comics on Heritage auctions for the week. And this week, I tried to do a little bit something different, something unusual. Like maybe we'll see. You'll see. I don't know. Will Mark discover what the weird thing is that I did? But I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I don't know what weird thing you did, Alan, but you missed the #1 sale on Heritage last week. So
Mhm.
you're going to have 6 items to show on your show because I've included the key item that you missed.
Okay. There was actually a sale that okay, so the weird thing I tried to do was not include Spider-Man.
Okay, well done. So the one you missed wasn't Spider-Man. Uh,
Okay,
okay.
because there was some big Spider-Man sales, but I didn't include Spider-Man. So because I was like, let's give Mark a break.
We've
Let's give
got a
Mark a break.
we've got a Spider-Man free week.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you the sale that you missed.
Okay. I mean, I'm not perfect. Close, but not quite.
Well, here we go. So this was a sale of a Batman 100 for $432. And
Oh,
the reason why this was special was I bought it.
I know that. Yeah, you were telling me about this one. So,
Yeah,
it's a nice looking through
it's
five. To tell
really
you the
nice.
truth.
So I'll tell you why it's a 3.5 because it looks a lot better than the 3.5, doesn't it? I'll
Yeah.
show you why. It's because it's got a bit of tape here. Can you see there's a tear just here?
Oh, yeah. Actually,
There's a
quite a
bit,
big.
there's a little bit of tape that goes round there, and they don't count tape as restore.
Nice restoration.
They
Yeah.
count it as damage. So, which is a bit odd, but anyway, that is the reason this is a 3.5. Otherwise, it looks fantastic. I mean, look at the spine. Um, so
Basically, if it wasn't for that tear, it'd probably be like a eight
I,
or a nine.
it would be. I'm not sure it'd be as high as that because it's got a bit of wear down here. But I think it would be.
Oh, okay.
But I think it would be a fine plus.
Okay.
A 6.5, I think, if that wasn't for that tear. So yeah, really pleased with that. Really nice looking 3.5, and I'd been on the lookout for this for some time. So there you go.
It's always great to have those centennial issues. They're kind of cool.
Yeah, exactly. And I love this one because it's got all the classic, a lot of the early classic covers on the front cover, which is really nice. Now, the other thing that I bid on in the Heritage auction, and this is interesting, is there was a
Okay.
lot of ungraded, so it was 30 ungraded DC Bronze Age horror. Okay.
Oh, nice.
And when I looked at them, when I bid, the bid was $250. So I thought, well,
Oh, that's really cheap.
yeah, but $10, and the Overstreet guide was 330 or something, because they'll say the Overstreet for this lot is this.
Yeah, which is always like 10 years out of date.
Yeah,
Basically.
so I put a bid in of 300, yeah,
Okay.
and it went for over 600.
Okay. That's probably
So,
more of a
well,
realistic price.
$20, but it just shows that the Bronze Age horror stuff really is going. Because I looked at a number of auctions, there wasn't another auction I saw um, where anything went for double the Overstreet guide.
Well, what I think is happening, and this is what I was telling somebody else, was last year was the year that you should have picked up all of that stuff,
Yeah,
like anything Silver Age beyond, because prices were so like hammered by just like the decline in the market that you get two effects. One, you get sellers that are like just don't want to sell anymore. They're just like, I don't want to give away my comics. And then you have buyers that are like, oh my goodness, I can't believe how cheap these are. I'm going to pick them up. And then what you're now getting is the effect that those two things coming together, where sellers don't want to sell and buyers really want to buy. And that makes the market kind of go up again.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So this was this one I bought, and it was a low price. I got this for less on. Actually, sorry, I got it for about fair market value for the
okay.
yeah. But it had come down in value significantly from this time last year. So I paid 435, and a year
And
ago,
this is early silver, so it's a
yeah,
it's a
very
good
early.
era.
Yeah, it's 1950 something.
Six, I think, something
Six, yeah,
57.
yeah,
Yeah,
56. So it's right on the edge of Silver Age. Uh,
looks like 56 just by the stamp. That's
yeah,
how I can tell.
it is 56. It says it on, yeah,
Mm.
yeah, 56. I love this trade dress.
Oh yeah, yeah, I do too.
Right, let's go on to the first official comic.
Okay,
Here we
but
go.
nice update.
This is a really nice looking scarecrow. Is this first Silver Age
Yeah,
scarecrow?
first Silver Age Scarecrow. I always thought this was Neil Adams, but it's not. It's Infantino and Giselle or something
Yeah,
like that. I'm
you can
not
see the
Smith.
signatures there.
So,
Oh, and it's signed by
Joe Gisella.
Giella. Yeah, there it is.
Gisella.
Nice with a signature.
Mm-hmm. Good placement for the signature,
Yeah,
actually.
good placement. So it's a 4-0 signed. Let's see what this went for. I don't know
Yeah,
what.
I thought this one I just picked because I thought, wow, that's interesting. We don't really talk about signed books that often on this show, so I figured, hey, let's do it. Look at signed one and see how they
I
perform.
mean, I think an Infantino signature would go for more than a Joe Giella one, but let's have a look.
Yeah,
So this sold for yeah, so this is a pretty good price actually, Alan. So that went for 312. It has sold for as high as 499.
and this was how much? This was
312.
okay, so it's gone down a little bit.
Yeah, I think it was 312. Yeah, 312. So it is that one on the graph there. So that's that one. Yeah, so it's gone down a bit.
Again, yeah, it's one of those things where it's you're buying a signature of a not so famous artist.
Yeah,
Like comparatively, Infantino, Carmen Infantino is like the one everybody knows.
yeah, exactly. That's my
Um,
well.
but still a cool book.
It is a good one.
How does that compare to like the unsigned version?
Right. I would imagine quite a lot higher because I don't imagine a 4-0 in the
Just click, yeah,
click there. No,
yeah, click, yeah, it's just the CGC.
not listed.
Wait, no, click
Oh
CGC.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Universal. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Uh, 4-0, 220 for the unsigned.
So basically, you're paying like 100, almost $200 for the signature.
Yeah, last one went for 220. So you're paying $100 for the signature. Yeah, it's
Okay,
about
so yeah, so,
seems reasonable.
yeah, that's about right. That seems very reasonable.
Yeah.
So yeah, and there's like about 2,000 of these on the census, so it's fairly common for a DC book. We're used. I'm used to seeing like
You
low
know why,
census
don't you?
ones. Oh, why?
Because this is from when Batman was on the TV in 1966, 67.
Oh, okay. That
And
that explains it.
there were a lot more issues out there because Batman sales zoomed up. They weren't getting as many returns. So the
Yeah, you
Batman,
had looked into that with the return, looking at the return numbers from back
yeah,
then. Yeah.
yeah. So if you look at your Batmans, the ones from this sort of era, there are a lot more of them. So they tend to be
Mhm.
less valuable than the ones before and after.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think you were saying, I remember you telling me about this before that early 60s, mid 70s, it's like 50% returns or
Yeah.
60%, it was really high return rate.
60 to 70 occasionally, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then at this point,
and it
it's the
dropped down to
opposite.
about 20 or 30% returns. So
Yeah, it was like the opposite. Yeah,
yeah, so this
the Batman show really did work in terms of promoting the
is.
comics.
So yeah, if you've got your comics with certainly Batman and detectives with the checkerboard on, they are going to be more common than the
Mhm.
ones previous.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
let's go.
that's interesting.
Girls in Love. I saw this one as I was browsing through the Heritage sales. This
Yeah.
Heritage. I did
So,
read it. I did have it on my list of thinking about bidding for, but
oh, okay, good choice.
it went for a lot more than I think when I looked at it, it was sitting at around $70.
Yeah, a lot more than I would have expected too, actually. Um,
But it
you
is
know,
Jack Kirby, isn't it?
no, Matt Baker.
Is Matt Baker? There was a Kirby romance one up as well. Oh yeah, it is Matt Baker. This is the Matt Baker one. Yeah, yeah.
So the reason I picked this one is because it is Matt Baker. So Matt Baker, has been hot in the Golden Age. He actually did do some covers in the Silver Age. He died sort of early on in the Silver Age, but I was curious if that effect that he was experiencing in the Golden Age was kind of carrying over into the Silver Age. Silver Age is not as great in terms of some of the covers for the romance stuff. Like there are some pretty cool ones, but the Golden Age is really where he had the best covers, just like the most amazing covers.
So question
Um,
here, Al. Yeah.
mhm.
Um, do you think it is coincidence that that guy looks like Superman and the woman is calling him woman calls him Clark?
That's an interesting thing.
I don't think that.
Um,
I think he's playing around.
yeah, it almost looks like that, doesn't it? Yeah, it's like very Superman style, and he's wearing sort of a red
Yeah,
undershirt, and
yeah.
um, yeah, that's interesting. I didn't even pick that up. That's very cool. So,
I
so
think Mr.
somebody's
Baker's been a bit naughty there.
yeah. So, do they actually mention that in the
No,
notes?
they
I'm
don't.
curious.
No, that's just
No,
me.
okay.
I noticed it when I was looking through, and I thought, "Oh, that's
Yeah, it
interesting."
looks very Superman style there. Okay, so yeah. So this one I thought was a fairly strong sale.
Three
How
one
does it
two
compare?
for a 4-0. I would imagine there's not many of these about. Um,
So 19 on the
yeah,
second.
it's the only one. It's the only sale ever.
Oh, okay. How
There's only
like
16 of this. It's only
16?
16.
Okay.
So this is a rare comic. Well,
Yeah, so
nobody's had
how
it
many
graded.
how many like do they have any other sales history for this one?
Um,
Like other grades? So we can kind of compare like this is like going for almost $100 a point
right.
at
Well,
that price.
there's nothing above a 5-0.
And
Um,
what did the 50 like any recent sales that we got?
no. Yeah, no. There's nothing else. So this one that's just happened, and then the next earliest one was 2019 when a 5-0 sold for 204.
So this is a very strong sale. So before it was selling for around $50 a point. Now it's going for about $100 a point.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's the Matt Baker people who've decided that it's too expensive in the golden age. Let's buy a silver age one.
But it's funny. The Silver Age ones might actually be rarer
Probably.
in some.
This one, I mean, this
Yeah.
is rare. I mean, Alan, there's 16 of these on the census. Whether that's just because people haven't had them graded or not, I don't know. But
Mhm.
16 on the census is really low.
Yeah. Yeah. Very interesting. So I thought that would be a fun one to look at.
Yeah,
Kind of
I did.
a little
As I
bit of a
said,
tie
I
into
did.
my Golden Age stuff.
When it was sitting at $70 when I looked at it, and I thought more, and I had it on my potential bid list, but it went way above what I'd have paid for it.
Yeah.
Right, Lobo #1.
Yeah. I thought this was kind of interesting. And it kind of pairs nicely with the one that I show later.
Okay, is this the first title with a colored hero?
Yes. First black character to have his own title.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Lobo, this one actually has an interesting story to it. So Lobo, they really did try. I mean, Dell was the one that produced it. Um, and people would actually return them. They refused to sell. At the time, there was a lot of racial tension,
Yeah.
and people didn't feel comfortable selling a black character on the newsstands. And so
Yeah.
there was a lot of,
I mean, this isn't that old, 65. It's in my
yeah,
lifetime.
yeah. So the thing is, like, people didn't feel comfortable about selling a black
When did
character on,
Martin
on
Luther
the
King
newsstands.
make his speech?
I don't know. I think it was maybe even earlier than that, wasn't it? Like
Similar
65
time.
is when I know 65 is when the Rights Act came out, right?
Yeah.
The um Equal Rights Act. Um but yeah, so I mean it's kind of funny. This one had really bad treatment in terms of people being a little bit racist towards it. Um or really racist towards it. I don't know how you say it. But and it as a result, it's fairly rare book.
And I like
Um
the cover. I think it's a great
it's
book.
a cool cover. It just didn't get a great reception.
How much did this sell for? I have no idea what this is worth. I imagine it's worth a fair amount because it is a strong first. Um,
Well, it's a cool book, historically significant, and there's a lot of black collectors who go after these kind
yeah,
of major
yeah,
historical
yeah.
books, right?
You've got this, haven't you?
Yeah, I do. I do.
I remember you telling me when you got it.
Yeah. No, it's a very cool book.
Uh, so it's coming. It's cut off. It's off its COVID
Peak.
peak. No, the peak was actually in March 23, so that was post COVID.
So what did it sell for in the past?
It has sold for 590 and it's now selling for 450, 430.
So
So it's
somebody got a bit of a deal on it.
dropped a
Yeah,
bit.
I think
I think that's
yeah,
a good deal. I don't think that's going to drop anymore. I think that's actually going to go back up. Um,
personally I do too. There's only like 200 or so on the census,
let's have a look.
right?
I'm amazed it's that low. Yeah, there is. It's only 234. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's one of those books. Not that many people are familiar with it, um, but it is one that definitely has a lot of historical significance to it.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was a cool one to put on the list.
Yeah, I agree. I think that is a cool book. Um, right. Next up, we've got a really nice detective comics, which I've not.
This one, I had never seen this one before,
I've
and I was
never
like, oh,
seen it
this,
before. I was just about to say that. It's not on my radar. I can't say I've seen this cover before.
and I love the fire.
It's brilliant. Look at that.
It's a
Flame
really cool,
Monster.
yeah,
Number
like really
308
cool cover.
from
And
1962 in a 9.4, Alan. Wow.
yeah, and it's really high grade. I mean, it's a cool cover. I mean, even Batman's on fire. It's just so cool. So when I saw this one, I was like, oh, this has to get on the list because it's just too cool.
It's cool.
Um, and it's a high grade Batman book. This is from 1962, and you know, how many high grade Batmans would be, survive from back then? I mean, it's
Yeah,
just
this is rare. There won't be many of these, Alan. I haven't looked at this, but I can't imagine there's more than 10 of these uh,
yeah.
in that grade. Let's have a look. How much did this sell for? I think that's a really low price. If this was a
Seems
Marvel
like a really low price to me. That's why I was a little bit surprised by it,
if this was a Marvel comic, you'd be paying 10 times that for something from 1962.
especially with a cool cover like this.
Yeah. Right, let's have a look. Oh, look at this. Somebody has got an absolute steal here. This sold for
Mhm.
$837 in 2008, and it's now selling for 564 um
Wow.
14 years later.
You know, it's interesting. It's not. This is not the first time it went down. This is the
No,
second time.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm not sure what why it went down. But definitely got hit hard.
That is a cracking buy. Somebody's got a real deal there.
And how many on the census? I'd be curious, especially at this grade.
59.
Wow. I mean, maybe it's just one that's
I mean,
not
it's nothing
worth
special
great.
about it. It's not a key issue or anything, is it?
No, no, it isn't. No, but it's definitely a really cool book. I
A
mean,
very
I just thought
striking
it's a
cover.
really like this is one I would actually say, hey, I'd probably go after it, because it's a cool cover. I mean, I would just go for it for the cover.
Yeah, it's
I
on
love
my
fire
radar now,
covers.
Alan. This is going
Yeah,
to be another one. This happens when I see some of these on this show, and I have to. That Batman 100 is your fault. That I
yeah, yeah,
Because I saw it when you did have it on one of these Silver Age reviews once, and as soon as I
yeah.
saw it, I went, "Oh, I've got to get one of those," and I've been looking since. So that's your fault, me spending that money on that Batman 100. I'm going to have to look this one up now.
Yeah, I mean, this seems like yeah, really surprising sale. How many at this grade, or how many
Uh,
even higher than this
Six.
grade?
There are six at this grade. Let's have a look at the overall
Full census, yeah.
distribution. Yeah, there are two
The
two
highest
nine
grade is a
eight.
9.6.
There are no
There's
nine.
no 9.8s. So this is the second highest grade. It just seems like a steal to me. Like it just, I don't know. I'm
It
not sure
is an
why.
absolute steal.
Yeah. So wow. So very cool book, just not appreciated, I guess.
I mean, what's going to? I mean, if somebody wants to sell me an 8.0 of this, I'll give them $100 for it, which is the last
Yeah,
sale.
me too. Yeah. I definitely would. I think it's a really cool book. You'll probably see it in a future unboxing, on both of our channels. Both of our channels.
I've never seen it before. I love it. Okay, right. I think that's five, Alan. One, two, three. Oh, wait a minute. One, two, three, four. No, it isn't.
One
That's
more.
one more. The Atom.
Hmm. So a friend of mine, Biggie Shack,
Yeah.
he loves this book. And my other friend Stephen Gentner, they always go on about this book because of just the cool alien cover. I believe it's Carmen Infantino again, I want to say. Or Kubert, or one of those. I think it's Kubert actually. Which one is it?
Neither. It's Gil Kane and Murphy Anderson.
I'm totally off.
Good, well spotted there, Alan. Good artist identification.
That's totally off. I was trying to remember who the artist was. I totally forgot.
This is the
But I think it's a
Greenwich.
cool.
We've had a few of these Greenwich collection ones recently, haven't we? That somebody must have
Yeah,
got
I mean,
rid
this
of.
is a cool cover though.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's okay.
You got these little aliens
I'm
coming
not as
down.
keen on it as Mr. Biggie Shacks and Mr.
Gentner, yeah.
Steppo.
Seppo, yep, yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I mean, I was always curious how much such like because they show it all the time. I thought, hey, I wonder how much this book would go for in a high grade.
well, now you know.
So
'Cause we're going to
now
find
I
out.
know. That's
Well, this
yeah,
one went for 576 in a 9.2. Let's see if that
it's
was a
just
good
a
price.
solid grade. That's a really nice grade for that book.
That's a pretty good price actually.
It's
Uh,
all over the place.
it is,
It's such a
somebody paid $717 for it in 2008. That was probably one of your mates. That was probably Steppo.
yeah. Who knows? And then it dropped significantly.
Yeah.
Then it went back up. I think it's one of those books where collectors like that, just like the cover, will go after it. And I don't know.
My wife's
Probably I'll
bringing
get.
me alcohol, so I'm going to drink some. Thank you.
Uh-oh. Okay. Wow. Nice. Um, but
Thank
yeah,
you.
this one is kind of all over the place. It's very interesting. I think I'm curious what comments I'll get from both of those collectors. They'll fry me on. They'll be like, "Oh, this is like so undervalued. You don't realize the key of it." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And you messed up the artist.
Right. How many
So,
of these are there around? It's a fairly low census. It's another low census count.
yeah,
207. Yeah.
yeah,
Right,
really.
comic. Yeah.
But how many people really know the Atom nowadays? Not that many.
No,
He's
he's
not.
not a well-known character.
Yeah.
He's
So I
got.
think he's a little bit under the radar.
Has he ever been
Um,
in? Has he ever been in a movie? I don't know.
no, no. You know, him and Ant-Man are kind of the same character, right? They're
Yeah,
kind of like,
that's,
those people that
that's
shrink down. And
yeah,
they're both rip-offs of Doll Man. So, um,
yeah.
yeah.
Except Doll Man was just an excuse to produce bondage covers. Um,
I like Doll Man. He's fun.
I know, but you
Um,
like bondage covers, so that's why you
yeah.
like Doll Man.
So yeah.
Right,
So that's it for this week on my channel. But
quickly
actually,
moving on.
the big books are actually on Mark's. I actually gave you all the big ones. I did all the weird ones on my channel,
And
all the
no
bigger books,
Spider-Man.
and no Spider-Man. That was my present to you. So
Just for
speaking of
1 week
presents,
only. 1 week only. No, no pesky arachnids.
yeah. So speaking of presents, this video is going to air on my birthday. So this is my birthday today. So
Oh,
happy
is
birthday
it
to
still
me.
Monday, Alan?
Yeah, yeah.
He
My
returns
birthday's Monday.
today.
Yeah, yeah. So be nice in the comments, people that are watching this. It's my birthday. You can be mean to me tomorrow, but just today, just be nice to me today. Um, thanks for watching. Go check out part 2 on Mark's channel. And yeah, that's it for now.
Okay, cheers.